Yo, what's up, Cancer? Welcome to your monthly forecast for the month of October 2018. Cancer, first thing I noticed about your reading this month, you've got a lot of threes in your reading this month. You've got the Three of Swords in the reverse. You've got the Three of Wands right there. So, and that's interesting because Jupiter is actually going into, I know this is a reading for October 2018, but Jupiter is moving into its home sign of Sagittarius in November 2018. And Jupiter is actually the ruler of the number three. So some threes are showing up in your reading, maybe because of Jupiter's movement to its home sign. But, you know, I also feel that this has something to do, for some of you, it has to do with your love life. So, you know, some of you, depending, doesn't matter if you're single or coupled up. It's like some of you, like, let's say if you're single, you might have more than one option, or there might be more than one person who's attracted to you, or vice versa. Or if you're coupled up, you know, potentially you're with somebody, but you might have your eye on somebody else potentially. So, like, for instance, like, here's the Three of Swords in reverse, and this is you, your significant other, and somebody else potentially. So I'm not saying that's resonating for all of you like that. You know, maybe some of you, your love life is perfectly fine and there isn't anybody on the side, or, you know, not to say that there was anybody on the side, but, you know, there's nobody else that you're really thinking of besides the person who you're already with. But it's going to resonate differently for all of you. And there are multiple threes in your reading here, so it is a possibility for some of you. Now, for your central energy, you have the Emperor card in the reverse. And, you know, it's interesting because I made a discovery within the tarot where you can actually find, you know, people who are in your life, you know, through their life path numbers in your reading. So they come through your reading, and the way you do, you can use their date of birth to find out whether or not this is someone in your life. If, you know, for some of you very specifically, you might have someone who's an important life path number 4 in your life because they're showing up right at the center of your reading. And this could be anybody in your life. And the way you get someone's life path number is you take their date of birth and you use the numerological sequence that I give in the tutorial video that I recorded, which the link is actually above the comments section in this video. So if you click on that link, you know, if there's anybody in your life who you're curious if they're the life path number 4, then take their date of birth, use the numerological sequence I provide in the tutorial video, and there you go. You can see whether or not that is the person who you're thinking of, or maybe they're thinking of you, vice versa. Now, that's very specific, and if you know, if there's nobody in your life who's life path number 4, then there might be somebody in your life who they're in your life pretty consistently, and potentially there's someone who's being a bit inflexible. It's someone who's being sort of controlling. It could be someone who's a bit domineering. So, you know, it's going to resonate differently for all of you, but some of you do have somebody in your life who's like this because they're showing up right at the center of your reading. Now, your challenge for this month is the Hermit card. And, you know, once again, with the life path numbers thing, the Hermit card is somebody who is life path number 9. So, you know, I made this discovery within the tarot, and there's no other tarot readers that have done this before. So if you start to see other tarot readers using my idea, well, then just know where they got it from. They got it from me. But, you know, like, once again, go to the tutorial video I made. And, you know, if you have any, like, curiosity if someone's a life path number 9 in your life, then you just got to take their date of birth, use the numerological sequence that I provide to get their life path number. But whoever this is, you know, potentially maybe there's someone who could annoy you a little bit because they are showing up as a challenge position. And, you know, that could be... that could resonate in any different way. Now, very specifically, life path numbers can also show up as you. So, you know, potentially maybe some of you are the life path number 4, or potentially some of you are the life path number 9. And that's really specific to say that because only a handful of you probably are. Now, if this isn't someone who's the life path number 9, who's getting on your nerves a little bit in the month of October 2018, then it might be the fact that the Hermit card's like, it's the energy is about you just do your own thing a lot. So, and if it comes up in the upright on any other part of the board, I would suggest, yeah, you're doing your own thing, and that's cool. Now, when it comes up as a challenge position, that would suggest, yeah, you're doing your own thing, but maybe you're doing your own thing too much. You know what I mean? Like maybe you should be more involved in societal activities, go out a little bit more, hang out with your friends more. And it's interesting because you have the Queen of Pentacles as your near future. So, that would suggest like you really do. I mean, Cancer, you are the sign that rules home life. So a lot of you tend to, like, you really like to be at your home. Like, you really enjoy being in your living space. And, this card is definitely indicative of that. So that would suggest, that's a card that just goes hand in hand with really who you are. You are somebody who really just likes to be at home. You like where you live, and you feel like that's a good place for you to be. And for others of you, this card is more about practicality. It's more about, like, some of you might have some family commitments happening in your life. Now, at the top of your reading, you have the Sun card in the reverse. And, it's interesting because this could resonate differently for each of you. And it's the Sun card, it's like I really wish that card would have came out in the upright for you for the month of October 2018. And I'm not saying that some of you are going to feel like, a little like I don't think it's anything that's a big deal, but maybe like bouts of depression here and there. I don't foresee it as anything that's significant. Now, if it's not coming through like that, then, it's fall now in the northern hemisphere. So, potentially this just could be the indication that, the sun isn't shining as bright and as hot as it was, in the previous months here when we were in summer. So it just could be the indication that the temperature is starting to cool down a little bit. The sun's starting to, it's not really shining as bright as it was recently. Now, in your distant past position, you do have the Three of Swords in reverse. So, here we go with this three-way situation. It's like there's definitely some of you have some three-way love situations going on. These distant past the past cards are like, sometimes it's just indicative of the past, or that's energy that's coming back in the month of October 2018. So for some of you, this card would suggest that, yeah, maybe there was a situation in the past where, it was you, your significant other, and maybe somebody else you're interested, or you, your significant other, and maybe somebody else they're interested in. And, maybe you're past that now. Maybe, now it's just you and your significant other and everything's cool. For others of you, that energy's coming back. So it's like, maybe there is a three-way situation going on when it comes to your love life. And once again, if you're single, maybe you have more than one option, or potentially maybe somebody you're interested has more than one option. Now, at the bottom of your reading, recent past, you have the World card in the reverse, and you have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. And, I would say this specifically, you could specifically attribute this to, any of you Cancers out there who have air signs in your life. So this could be Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, potentially, for some of you, are dealing with an air sign. So, World card in the upright position would suggest integration with this person. But World card in the reverse would suggest, well, it might take a few tries to really, if you're interested in an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, or vice versa, maybe they're interested in you, maybe this isn't going to just happen as smoothly as you want it to. And, it's interesting because Venus is going retrograde on October 5th, and Venus is the planet of love, and it will not move direct again until November 16th. So, some of you might have to just figure out if, maybe is this person, if this isn't an actual air sign, this might be someone who's just very intellectual, they use their mind a lot. So you might have to use that Venus retrograde cycle to figure out, is this person good for you? Maybe they're trying to figure out if you're good for them potentially. So I take this Venus, especially with these threes here. It's like, some of you do have some options. So use the Venus retrograde cycle to really figure out who's right for your love life, Cancer. Once again, it's going to start to retrograde on October 5th, and it won't move forward again until November 16th. So, use that time to figure out really, who you want to be with. I mean, it looks like there's several options coming up here for some of you. I mean, for some of you, it's an air sign. Queen of Swords, if you're not familiar with tarot, then you wouldn't know that, it doesn't matter if it's a queen, it could be a man or a woman, but they're definitely an air sign. They're definitely an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini for some of you. But, you have the Queen of Swords, which suggests an air sign. You have the King of Cups, which suggests the water sign, or that could be you. Once again, it doesn't matter about the gender. It's all about the suit. So this could be, an important water sign in your life, maybe a Cancer, another Cancer or a Scorpio, or a Pisces potentially for some of you. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles, which is an earth sign. And, that could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn for a few of you. So three, and now you have three different signs. And so some of you do have options whether you're single or coupled up. So you're just going to have to figure out how that applies to your life uniquely. And you have the Three of Wands in the upright there, and that's a card that has a lot to do with expansion. If you look at the card closely, it's probably hard to see from the view that you have, but very closely if you look, I mean, this person, they're waiting for their ships to come in, but the ships are coming in. You can see that the ships are coming in. So if you're a Cancer that's been working on something for a while, maybe you're going to start to see some first glimpses of achievement. Potentially, if there's any passion project that's been close to your heart for some time, potentially maybe some first glimpses of achievement for some of you. And I would say this for some of you, I don't want to get your hopes up if that's not coming to fruition in your life. For others of you, this has to do, this card Three of Wands is very Jupiter type of card. And that's interesting because Jupiter's moving into its home sign of Sagittarius in November 2018. Once again, this is a reading for October 2018, but you might start to see some glimpses of expansion here. Like maybe some of you are just getting you feel like you're outgrowing something potentially. It's like it could be any aspect of your life. It has to do with expansion. Maybe it has to do with your love life or what you do in your work life. But you're looking to expand potentially in any aspect of your life. Now, above that, you have the King of Swords, and once again, this doesn't have to be a man. This could be a man or a woman. But they're definitely a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini who's important in your life. And, this is somebody who predominantly uses their mind. And they are pretty smart. They have a sharp intellect. Look how sharp this sword is. But, once again, I go back to the love life situation, and I feel like, a lot of you Cancers you really do, have some sort of air sign who's either part of your love life or maybe they're, a potential someone who's a good candidate for you to be with potentially. But, this would suggest that, if there is an air sign in your life who you're interested in and vice versa, this is you hoping that you can connect with this person potentially. Like maybe there's somebody that you want to be with or vice versa. Now your outcome for the month is the Ten of Pentacles. And, this is a very family-oriented card. So this is nice that this came out in the upright because, this suggests maybe something, positive regarding your family situation. And for some of you, it might have to do with the combination of family and money. So, some of you might have somebody in your family who owes you money, and that's really specific. I don't think that's going to resonate for all of you. Not everybody, not all of you Cancers have somebody in your family who might owe you money. Or, potentially some of you, there's just somebody in your family who, I don't know, maybe there's someone who gives you money potentially sometimes. And, for others of you, this would just be indicative of somebody in your family who's just they're that person who's they're always good to you no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what the conditions are. There's always those one or two people in your family who, you can always count on, and, they always got your back. And that's nice. That's nice if some of you have somebody like that in your life, and that's your outcome for the month of October 2018. I think that's a pretty nice outcome to have, and that's interesting because that card really lines up perfectly with the new moon that's going to happen on October 8th. So, the new moon on October 8th, that has something to do specifically with your family or home life situation. So it could be about family, it could be about home life, but potentially there's something new in this that's coming in the 6 months that follow the new moon that's going to happen on October 8th, and it has something to do with your home life, or if not, maybe it has something to do with your family. So you just have to see how that resonates uniquely in your life. But I think that's all for you this month, Cancer. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, share, and like. I'm on Instagram as Gregory Furlan Astrology, so if you like to read daily astrology, just make sure to give me a follow there. Thank you for watching. Have a great month, and I'll see you next time.